Hello again, back for the major for the final time in 2025 for the final stage of the Budapest major. And I think first of all, I need to just say I cooked with stage three. I got 6 out of 10, which is of course way better than the one here. So what's that? Yeah, 6 there. The only thing I was surprised about was probably Spirit going through. I kind of thought with how shaky they've been that maybe they'll bomb out. I could have seen them going 3-1, 3-2, but they surprised me and instead ended up going 3-0, so fair enough to them. Donk played incredibly well, gotta give them that. I'm not gonna give them the kind of free out and say that the matchups were easy because the one against Maus is still pretty good on Torchi's home ground buff. So I will say Spirit did play incredibly well to upset my Pickems there. I'm very happy with pretty much all of these that made it through. G2 didn't make it through, but tough matchup against Falcons. One of them had to lose in the 2-2 pools. That's a shame. And then Vitality just here after getting kicked out by Spirit, fair enough. But then at the bottom, goddamn, Paravision Liquid. Paravision's fair enough. They've gone through from stage 1, they've made it all the way to stage 3. That's still an incredible feat. But Liquid, are you actually kidding me? Elige coming in, giving it all that, saying, "Oh, we've had a boot camp. We're feeling great. We've had some new strats and all that. We are feeling great for this major." 0-3. What the hell are you guys doing? That is embarrassing. It's appalling. Who have you lost out to? You've lost out to a Passion UA, so you're now the worst NA team, even though you aren't even considered NA at this point. So that's disgusting. Losing to Mongols are the best of one, that's fair enough. And then a Spirit 2. Because Passion UA, you had one chance to not embarrass yourselves, and you failed. So, well done, guys. Other than that, I say I'm fairly happy with stage 3. It was how I expected it to be, and I predicted fairly well, except for Spirit and the O3 pool, the rest of these guys here carried me through. So I'm happy with that, fair enough. Onto the playoffs instead. So now this is where it gets a little bit more difficult. This is where I'm probably going to mess it up again by having some stupid bloom pick. But, where's the fun in Pickems if you're not going to do some stupid picks? So, first of all, it's Team Spirit versus Falcons. Now, Team Spirit they looked good in Stage 3, I will give them that. But their only notable feat of any wins of any kind, I would say, are Maus. And they're still good. They're still a good team, especially in the group stage to play against. And Falcons did have a longer run, more drawn out, and did end up playing, I think, losing to some of the lower teams. One against G2, lost to a Mouse that Spirit won against. Then demolished Imperial, demolished Passion, and then opening loss against Bait, which we can kind of ignore. It's best of one randomness, so I can say that that one might have been a fluke. So I'm probably gonna give Falcons the benefit of the doubt. Spirit on a stage, this would be Tanir's kind of first big stage, I feel like. So he may not work as well under pressure there. And with a team that's kind of become more centric around Donk, well, just stating the obvious, of course, but then bringing in Tanir, bringing in Zwei, the vibes seem good, but if these guys can't perform in the playoffs, which we haven't seen a whole lot of yet, I feel like this is where the pressure might get to a Tanir, might get to a Zwei, and this might be where Team Spirit falters. So I'm going to say Falcons make it through in that first matchup. It might be stupid. I'm probably going to regret it, but hey, where's the fun in that if Nico doesn't at least make it look close at the major? But now, Vitality versus Mongols, that's a little bit easier, I'm going to say. I'm going to give the edge to Vitality. The Mongols, they're a good team. Don't get me wrong. They made it into stage 3. They've got Controls as a stand-in who's looking phenomenal despite having to replace a big name in Mongolia such as Senzu. So for them to be here at all is still great. Don't get me wrong, love the Mongols, but I just don't see them on a stage taking down somebody like Vitality. It's unlikely, but I'm not going to be disappointed if they don't. It's as expected, business as usual. Now, Fury versus Na'Vi, I think they played in stage 3. Yeah, okay, yikes. If that's the form that Na'Vi's going to bring to the table, I don't see this any other way. Fury, oh damn it, didn't say. Fury are making it through past Na'Vi at least. That should be an easy matchup for them. Best of 3 in front of a crowd. Na'Vi do well in front of the crowds. We'll say that they do have crowd experience. Maybe Makazi doesn't, but it's still possible that they'll pick up a fight. Maybe they'll pick up a map. Maybe surprise me. But Furia overall are so strong and so dominant that 100% they're going to make it through over Na'Vi. Now, this is where I'm going to piss people off, right? You got Maus versus FaZe. You got Maus with Torji, hometown hero, the hometown buff. But, gotta think of a defining buff to the other team. This is a FaZe Clan major. They're in front of a crowd. They're on a major stage. FaZe Clan are taking it. Torji, I'm going to say the home crowd buff is actually going to work against him in this matchup instead. He's going to go into the match thinking, oh, I have to perform, I have to deliver for my people. And Maus always choke in the playoffs. If there's a crowd there, it's not going to work. So, I mean, this is some horrible takes, but FaZe made it through stage 1. I'm completely delusional, but I have belief. I think FaZe are actually going to eke that one out and surprise everybody. And what a cinema match that will be if they do take it. Be absolutely brilliant. I mean, the crowd's going to be cheering against them, probably. Well, it's a bit difficult. You've got Torji, hometown, but everyone loves the FaZe clan, it seems. Nobody seems to dislike FaZe too much, so I'm not going to be too worried about the crowd. I mean, Carrigan works well under pressure anyway. I would like to see how Jacob works with the crowd as well. Was kind of there, London. Blast London, there was a crowd that he was in front of there. I mean, he did alright. I'm not going to say there's anything bad. Lost to G2, who eventually won the entire tournament. So, almost a difficult one to judge him on. So, this will be where we can judge the most out of FaZe Clan on their stage with this new roster. And with you have 4 veterans who have played for so long in front of these crowds. I just think FaZe are going to take this. I think they do genuinely have a chance to take that series and go to semis. Be insane. So I've done the schizo picks, I've done the stupid picks, got them out of the way. Now it's time to go for the more boring ones. Falcons versus Vitality. You know, it could be a Nico major, you know? But hey, we're gonna still talk about it, and we're still gonna say no, it's not gonna be a Nico major. We say the same thing every 6 months, every single one of these majors. Oh my god, Nico, he's gonna get a new major. No, he fucking doesn't. Vitality gonna win this one. Nico's gonna shit the bed. I would like to see how Monty does, because previously in front of crowds he hasn't been as good as he has been back when he was in the G2 jersey. So maybe this will be a Monty defining moment. But with Vitality, 5 people so confident in their own abilities, and don't forget about the first half of 2025. They were demolishing everything. They're kicking everyone's asses. So I think right now on this stage, I think a grand final is possible for Vitality, and against a Falcons, yeah, it should be. But on the other side, Furia versus FaZe. As much as I love FaZe, Furia are so strong, even under pressure, even on the stages, and have a deeper map pool by twice as I'll say twice as much. It's a bit of a difficult way to put it, but their map was so much deeper and more advanced than FaZe's that I just don't see a way in which Furia. I mean, what if they pick Train? No, so Train is FaZe's permaban, or maybe it's Overpass at this point. I think they bounce back and forth between it. Either way, Fury are going to get a map they absolutely love and that FaZe are awful at. So it's just going to be FaZe going to get absolutely demolished by Fury in this one, I feel like. Against a Mouse, they have a chance, but against a Furia, primetime Furia, absolutely not. Furia versus Vitality Grand Final again, and I'm going to be a bit boring. I'm just going to go out and say it. It's a best of 5 Grand Final. Fury are going to take it. They've got so many strengths across their map pool. We saw in their previous Grand Final against Vitality, I think it might be in Chengdu, where they didn't ban both their perm bans, which was ancient. They actually let it feed through into the map pool, and Fury to take it. I mean, even then, on a map that they don't know, on a map that they are not comfortable with, they can still perform. I mean, it was kind of a shit show, yeah, but it just shows that even then they can rely on each other, and their aim and their cohesion just bring them through. And I feel like that's such a massive thing for the Furious squad. Best of 5. We've seen how well they've performed already. I think this has to just be called as the Furia Major. So here, that's it. Fallen's got one a decade later. How about that? That's the Pickems for the Sun. I need to just get one of these right at this point just to get that gold. I'm absolutely begging for gold at this point, but hey, I can feel it. I can feel it. I'm getting the gold coin, despite the disaster class that has been this major. Either way, thank you, and this will be the last Pickems for a while. At least, I mean, I'll review the end of the Pickems, but it probably won't be too much. Good luck, and see you soon. Bye.